Hello, and welcome to We Poetry. We are on live from this fine Saturday night, and as usual, your Saturday night habit. Uh, I am Indigo. I know you're looking for a deep male voice, but you're not getting it. Sun is unavailable, and so tonight you have me. We are very honored to be joined by several guests from all over because tonight we have a special show called Flying Feathers. It is a salute and a celebration of the lives of our migrant workers all over the world who are the unsung heroes of the current COVID crisis. But first, before we get to anything, uh, I'm going to have to start with thanking our sponsors. The inimitable Dream Wide Awake Coffee, wonderful Filipino coffee, homegrown, made by wonderful folks. We also have our sponsors from the hostel in Makati, which is a very, very nice place to stay in if you're visiting Manila for work or pleasure. We also have the lovely folks at Tambayan Gastro Bar in Malate, which is another incredible venue. And of course, our incomparable, wonderful poetry partners at Expat Choice Asia, who are who have been with us throughout this entire experience and who have very kindly been supporting us. We want to thank you all for being there. If you're just tuned in, we actually just got back. We had some technical difficulties earlier, but that's what happens when you are live, right? Uh, so tonight, I will introduce to you our first guest who very kindly is sharing all about her life. She is a published poet, having been published in Get Lucky by Ethos Books, Asia Library Review, Anvil Publishing, Crowns and Oranges, New Philippine Poetry, Philippine Pen Centers at Homeliness, an anthology of new Philippine post-colonial poetry in English, Asian Cha, and she actively supports Singapore's National Poetry Festival and is part of a community of Filipino and Singaporean writers celebrating cross-cultural inclusion. She has lived in Singapore for 11 years and is originally from the Philippines and Canada. And she's of Chinese descent. So she is truly a woman of the world. She is also incredibly patient. And we're going to hear from her again, properly this time. I am honored to introduce to you, everybody, Miss Karin Candano.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Thank you for the kind introduction, Indigo. This is a very special evening to be with everybody, celebrating Filipinos who are similar to myself in background. We are telling you all and sharing our lives from our bedrooms, our living rooms, our kitchens. I'm doing it from mine in Singapore, where I live. And the theme that I'd love to contribute to tonight is others. I just wanted to share that theme made me think of Emily Dickinson's work about hope. And for those who don't remember it, or for those who do, I want to remind you about this lovely bit of verse before I start my piece. Emily Dickinson, remember, it's hope is a thing that feathers, that perches in the soul, and sings the tune without the words and never so. So I'm very excited to be part of your flock, if you can say that, of migratory birds who are pro. We hope to give you a bit more soul food for this evening. And I want to start by talking about a book that I'd love to read, my first work from tonight. It's called Get Lucky. And it's a collect life changes, or even just as a child. So this poem I want to read for you is called Imaginary Landscape to Novena. Imaginary Landscape to Novena. The skein flew and the women prayed for touchdown at wingtip. A city canvas we expected in scaffolding. Variations on canvas. Number 1. If Luz were on this train, it would be a dark, roaring tube, and a single handrail we held as firmly as a child's slim arm. Another deft hand moves wordless in finger exercises on the beat and stop to novena. So that's the first work that I read for you. I hope. And so that's basically my spiritual home here in Singapore. The next pieces that I would love to share with you tonight are a bit more around my experience connecting. And connection is really important if you are wearing feathers, moving around, being blown by the wind to different parts of the world. And song and I guess connection through art is really important. Find your own, I would say, community. And so I'm reading from Asia Literary Review tonight, where I have some pieces published. And one of them is something I'm excited to read. I have not read this out since I published it, so you're in for a treat. It's called A Cappella. Any connection piece, there's always an element of love, so I hope you like it. A cappella. There are so many things that remind me of how you laughed, all of which I thought I had either burnt cinder crisp or scrubbed well enough to have washed away. Among the things I thought to have now turned ash white, the song in the car, in the bar, drunk as songs from me to you, and you to me on bar stamped napkins, where we sang, giddy, wicked, gay, songs, among thought to have rinsed by now. All the road textures in brine, sand, and sand, where skin met sea, the womb of my socks, the fold of my matchbook from the hotel was lost twice, thrice, twice. Then my secret pocket, zippered in handbag. You stuck your fingers in when you fake fishing for the keys, and you laughed out loud, grating teeth, punctuating the breath that couldn't have ever caught up with us. So connection is one theme that's really important for my journey, but I think there's also the other element of looking back. So this last piece I'd love to share with you is about looking back to where you come from. It's called A Chinese Lady. A Chinese Lady. Central Kingdom Limited in trademarked red and gold has told me to take a piece of Orient home. Their monopolies and vintage postcards at 15 yuan a piece for former muses of Madame Lichins. A set gets you an assortment. 12 Chinese in various stages of blush and undress, hawking Shanghai cigarettes with charm. One in particular held her tobacco stick like in slanted for smoke to fly straight up. You held yours at the temple like that, fingers on tiptoe, with 3 bows for your mother, after I had been named a flower. In your mother tongue, flower share the same thick strokes. You cried for the heavens to hear you once the ashes fell. I buy the card without enough stamps to reach anywhere in the world. Thank you very much for that. Hope you enjoyed those 2 pieces. I share my journey.
That's incredible.
Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed
I'm
it.
sitting here with my jaw dropped. Goodness gracious. How long have you been writing poetry?
Um, a long yeah, a very long time. I think one of my best um, experiences was joining a writer's workshop when I was in high school. I was the youngest in the group, and one of the lecturers was just really kind and very encouraging. And so he said, "You've got something, just keep reading."
Yeah,
And
there's something to be said about teachers and pushing you in the right direction.
I myself was so happy about having great literature teachers that my first paying job was in university.
Oh wow!
Yes, yes.
Where?
I was teaching at Ateneo de Manila University.
Oh goodness gracious!
Right out of when I finished my university degree, they said, "Why don't you try to teach?" And
is that where you graduated from?
Yes, yes.
White, blue and white. Fabio.
Old school cry.
Fabio. Yes.
I'm really thankful that you have a lot of these opportunities to do a lot of this connective work. I think technology is very much part of the same fabric. So it's so exciting for me to see that you're connecting people from all over the world, and that's the joy of being, I guess, part of the migrant community. Is you transplant and you take root and you travel and you connect and you do it over and over again.
That sounds like a poem itself, man. Transplant and take root. That's a poem right there. It is. And I saw that you've been published in the multiple publications here and there, but I'm really curious. What on earth is crowns and oranges?
So it's interesting. Anthology by poets that I really admire. They're both affiliated with the Manso Tomas writing space, but also it's from Annabelle. Actually, one of my most writers of the modern epic in Philippine literature for English, Cirilo Bautista, as part of that portfolio, as well as a good friend and a dear friend and a great admirable writer, Ken Ishikawa, as the editor of that anthology. And you've got a lot of different new writers and not so new writers who are coming on board, and they're part of that, I guess, collection in that space and time. So, yeah, very proud to be part of that. That journey.
Yeah, it actually sounds really great. I came to, you've lived in Singapore for 11 years. I love Singapore. I love it. I went for the first time last year, fell in love, and I'm planning to go back. Actually, you're active with the Singapore Poetry Festival?
Yes. So,
and that's one of the things that Lacan and I are planning to do.
Yes, I think when things
settle,
ease up or settle from a kind of like a health situation, I think there will be more opportunities to gather in person. But I think for now, this is you're creating a festival of ideas and people and words.
Yes.
I think this is the way. This is the way future.
Thank you so much. We're pioneering this because it's what you pave the way. You connect people and you share your feelings. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. I know you're busy. For making time. Is there anywhere that people can read your poems, or you have a book out right now, social media? Please feel free to share it with the audience.
Sure. I think I'll just remind everyone about this book also because we have a call for a second round of publication and contributions. I think we actually closed publication contributions call, but I think it's still open if you send something in and you're passionate about inclusion in Singapore and Philippine culture. Get lucky. Just look for it on Facebook, or I think there should be instructions on how to contribute. Broadly, I'm just really glad to be here, and I am working on your piece, but that's still in the works. So I'll keep you guys posted.
That just means you have to come back and guest again.
I'm very glad.
Tonight we have migrant workers from all over tonight, from Singapore, from Indonesia, from uh, several parts of Asian world, and it's quite really, really exciting. But our next guest is actually a repeat guest, a returning guest, one of the first guests actually, in the first 2 weeks of our show, because we actually are going to be celebrating of Read Poetry next Saturday. That's gonna be an interesting show in itself, which I'm very about that. But first of all, let's talk about our next guest. Our next guest tonight is also in Singapore. Um, she was actually an open mic performer before, and now she is in our main roster. She's a multifaceted woman. She's a carer, an entrepreneur, a motivational speaker, and a writer. She is part of the Migrant Writers of Singapore, and during her downtime from work, she pursues creative outlets such as photography and the arts. So without further ado, our second guest for the evening, Miss Celine Pampangan.
Hello, good evening. Um, I would like to say thank you for having me tonight, and I have to share my piece. I wrote this while I was working and then thinking about this and go. And I have a piece which is in a foreign land, the title. And I'm going to share the first piece. As I walk and see the world with the same sky I was looking before, unfamiliar place, faces everywhere. My curiosity urged me to explore the reality. How does this new world build dreams of many? I pull out and close my eyes, absorbing the unfamiliar breeze of the air. It's just like ecstasy in a world full of fantasy. I found a home in you where I experienced the unsaid truth, thousands of tears, millions of pains that cannot be cured by morphine, despite sacrifices I can see and abstract, achieved by strong-willed heroes. In a foreign land, a place where everybody's dreams into reality. For some reason, I called it home. And the orbiting universe in my soul became a pieces of me for what I become. From egg to larva until I spread my wings and fly high in a wonderful life inside the garden of Lion City. Um, this was poetry which is I was writing last night, and what what I remember is the first time that I came here, and this is and I picture all the sceneries that I saw, and I saw all the buildings, trees, and the skies and everything. And I have a second piece which is written in Tagalog. I tried to write a Tagalog poetry for my kids, and the title is Tatawan. Luha ang mga mata sa inyo di ko pinapakita. Ngiti, ako ay nangangapa, nangungulila sa mga yakap at halik. Mga ngiti at hagit sa aking di papakita. Gustong gusto ko na kayo ay makasama. Ilang taon pagtitiis at pagtinda sa mga sakit. Dahil sa pagmamahal ko ng labis, nakakapagod din pala. Mga pangarap para sa inyo nagbigay lang ako'y makipaglaban sa dayuhang bansa. Habang ako ay nag-isa. Dala ang sandata ng dignidad at determinasyon na kayo ay mabigyan ng maayos na kinabukasan. Mga pangarap na aking binubuo unti-unting nagkakatotoo. Ngunit kapalit neto ay pagsusumamo na sana makasama kayo, na sana ako ang nagpapatulog sa inyo, na sana ang nakakausap nyo, sana. Lumayo ako dala ang bigat na aking nararamdaman. Sa kabila ng lahat, kahit ako'y masaya, pero sa totoo lang, ako'y wasak na. Wasak na dahil ang dami kong nawala. makita kayong lumaki ay pagsisisi at ligaya ay nagkakaisa. Wala nang ginawa kundi magdasal na sana araw ay bumilis pa. Sa pagsapit ng dilim, araw ay tapos na. Sa panahong kay bilis lumipas, paggising ko kayo grade 3 at grade 2 na pala. Halos di ko na kayo kilala. Mga ayaw at gusto nyo, di ko alam. Kasi nga, di ako ang inyong kasama. Masakit man, andyan na yan. Si kayo ay makasama. Pangako ako'y uuwi na, konting tiis pa. Patawad sa aking paglayo. Patawad. Salamat. Um, I just wrote this Tagalog poetry last night while I was talking to my kids, and I thought of writing a poem saying sorry of leaving them because they're still young when I came here. They're only just like one 1.5 years old, and the last child is 7 months old. So because I really wanted to give them a better future, I wanted to get to build a house, to get a business. I swallowed everything. I grab all my courage and come here in Singapore. And now I've been here for almost 7 years and 7 years counting. So I hope for the last contract I will able to go home and see them. Thank you so much for having me tonight. And I will
Celine!
again.
Celine, that was incredible. My God, wait
Thank
lang.
you.
Wait, I'm a little teary-eyed. Oh my gosh. That was so heartfelt. Yeah, for those who are watching and listening, the second poem, the Tagalog poem, is actually quite heavy. It's a mother, pining for her children, explaining that she wants to be there, apologizing, but she's doing it for them, for their future.
Yeah.
There was a line there about how I didn't even realize that you're already in second and third grade. How would I know I'm not with you? Celine, that was incredible.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And you only wrote that last night?
Yeah, I wrote it last night because Rola Khan told me, why don't you try to write? Why don't you try writing Tagalog poetry? And I said, I'm really bad in mother tongue and I can't speak Tagalog really well. But she said, just try it. Think about that. It's a conversation, not a poetry.
Yeah. And look what happened.
Yeah, and then I was just like, okay, fine, I will try. And then I keep repeating the words, keep on reading it. And I hope.
Well, look at what you made. It's sincere, it's from the heart, it's wonderful. It was really wonderful. I felt. It's a good thing if it's a tough thing, you took Lacan's advice. That was wonderful. When did you start getting into poetry again?
Last year, August. When I just came back from Philippines, my friends just invited me to go for poetry reading. And then I went back home last July. Then August, they already asked me to perform in Marine. First day of my life, performing poetry in front of Singaporeans. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here now.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously, you're having a lot of fun now.
Yeah.
So that's great. And at least you found a way to express yourself.
Yeah.
How long have you been working in Singapore?
Now it's turning to 7 years counting.
Oh, wow. I'm really, really happy for you.
Thank you so much.
That you're able to have this medium to express yourself. So, do you have any social media you want to promote or any to our listeners?
Maybe to our listeners here in Singapore, I wish you will find your time spend. I mean, you will find the time to spend because of maybe just try to write some stories or poems, do some arts and everything because as you know, we're not allowed to go out for our own safety. And just now, the writers in Singapore are collecting poetry anthology and short story. I am inviting you guys to write your own poetry and write your own story about this inconvenience so that we can make a book anthology for this. I would really appreciate it if you would try and write. during your free time or your off day that you don't have a place to go.
That's really wonderful, Celine. I'm sure people will see that call. It's a really, really beautiful
Thank you
um
so much.
thing to say. Thank you for coming. We'll be glad to have you again and again and again.
Thank you so much.
I really would like to add on to that. I want to encourage you to write some more in your mother tongue because you're so good at it. Don't underestimate yourself. That was, and I'm sure your son will understand. And I cannot wait for the day that you'll. Thank you, Celine.
So much.
Bye.
Thank
Thank you.
you. I will watch the live now.
Yes, please.
Please.
Thank you.
Okay, okay,
All
thank you.
right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So
Bye.
that was Celine from Singapore, and yeah, that was really moving, and that's why Flying Feathers came to me because honestly, that's why they're the unsung heroes. There's so many stories of mothers who, you know, instead of watching their children grow up, they and others, and in order to give their children a better life with the time spent, it's different. And we hear so many stories. Earlier we had Catherine, who, on the other hand, worked her way, and but before we continue, again, I would like to thank everybody who's tuned in so far. I would like to remind you that you can interact with us using the chat box. You can comment, like this video, and of course, subscribe to our channel. Share it with your family and friends. And on that note, I would also have to thank our sponsors again. I would like to thank the world of Dream Wide Awake Coffee, organic Filipino coffee. It's truly amazing. The folks at G Hostel in Makati, which is a lovely place you are in Manila for work or a vacation. Tambayan Gastro Bar in Malate, which in itself is an incredible venue.